everyone, today I wanted to talk about Venus and Scorpio woman, what she's like in a relationship or just otherwise, what's her energy like, so keep watching. Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about Venus and Scorpio woman. So I just want to make a disclaimer before I get started. When I say man and woman in my videos, it's related to masculine and feminine energies. So it doesn't matter what gender you identify with or what you are born with. It's the energies that I'm talking about. So let's get started. So Venus and Scorpio woman. So, Venus is a feminine energy. The planet it's about feminine energy. It's about how we attract in a relationship. And Scorpio, even though it's a feminine sign in the zodiac, it is ruled by Mars and it's ruled by Pluto as well. And Mars is masculine energy. So what you're going to have is a woman who is extremely complex. She has many, many layers to her personality. What you see is definitely not what you get with this woman. The Venus and Scorpio woman, she's very, very alluring. Right off the bat, she's very alluring, very mysterious, very charming. And that's because Scorpio does have a magnetism about them. Like the sign itself, it's known for 8th house subjects. It rules the 8th house. So Venus and Scorpio women are very alluring. They just have that energy and aura about them. When they walk into a room, they do turn heads. And most of the Venus and Scorpio women that I know, they are quite pretty and beautiful as well. But even if they aren't conventionally pretty, there's always going to be that magnetism about a Venus and Scorpio woman. Like she just has that about her. And that's one of the reasons why a Venus and Scorpio woman always gets a lot of attention. She does have a lot of options, but this is the caveat. She's very picky about who she gives her time and energy to. She doesn't really give her time and energy to just about anyone. And so if she is giving her time and energy to you, you should consider yourself lucky because she doesn't really partake of her energy to just anyone, So you have to be someone really special for her to do that. A Venus and Scorpio woman can see right through you. This is not a woman that you want to play games with or just, the usual mind games that some people like to play. This is not the kind of woman that you want to do that with because she can see right through you. And if she has a Mercury in Scorpio, then she just doesn't see through you. She's probably done all the research that she needs to do about you. Like she knows everything there is to know about you. She's probably checked your social media and more. And, there's lots of ways to get to know things about a person. Let's just say that. And so if she has a Mercury in Scorpio as well, then, even before she started a relationship with you, she just knows everything there is to know about you. So you really can't hide anything from a Venus and Scorpio. You can try, but you really can't. And the thing is, if you're trying to lie to a Venus and Scorpio or just lead her along in some kind of way, she's going to know it. She's going to know it right off the bat. And she may play along for a little bit. She may find it quite amusing that you're trying to lie to her because she already knows what you're about. So if you're trying to lie to a Venus and Scorpio, she may play along and she may be amused for a while and she may just play the game as well. But please keep in mind that you're going to get played 10 times over if you're trying to play with a Venus and Scorpio woman. Because, first of all, she doesn't take that very lightly. Like she doesn't take kindly to it. She is going to give it back to you, probably 10 times worse because it's a Scorpio we're talking about. If you're transparent, if you're honest, if you're, upfront about things right off the bat, you're going to get the same thing back in return. Like she will be the same with you. And this is one of the similarities that a Venus and Scorpio woman shares with the Venus and Scorpio man because they both have a very, very strong radar for any kind of fakeness. You cannot be fake with a Venus and Scorpio woman. Same with the Venus and Scorpio man. They just know when someone's being fake with them and they can see right through it. So you just don't want to do that with them. Now, coming back to the Scorpio revenge, right? A lot of people say Venus and Scorpio women can be quite revengeful if they are hurt or betrayed. That can be the case, but it depends on the kind of woman that we're dealing with. Like, it depends on the whole chart. If this is a Sun in Sagittarius, for example, and a Venus in Scorpio woman, Sagittarius is about the truth, right? They are going to get to the bottom of things. And when she also has a Venus in Scorpio along with that Sun in Sag, if you have betrayed her in a wrong way, she is going to play along until you basically expose yourself and you have to confront, you basically have to say the truth out to her. Like, that's what it's going to be like with a Sun, Sagittarius and Venus and Scorpio woman. If she's a Sun in Libra and a Venus in Scorpio, then things might be a little more, a bit more toned down, because Libra likes peace, Libra likes balance. They don't like too many unpleasant scenarios. So, but you're still going to get stung in some way, that's for sure. Maybe in a more polite way, not so outright like a Sun in Sagittarius, which is going to like expose you. A Libra is going to probably soften the blow a little bit, but you're still going to feel the blow. A Scorpio Sun with a Venus in Scorpio, ooh, that's a double Scorpio energy. So this is where revenge really comes into the picture if she wants to go that route. Signs. If you've got a Virgo Sun sign woman with a Venus in Scorpio, then I mean she's going to cut you open. And what I mean by that is Virgo is very critical, right? They can use their words as a weapon, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about communication. So when she speaks to you, but it depends on where her Mercury is, right? Like, if she's a Mercury in Scorpio, it's going to be super incisive. Like, you are going to get dissected all over, and you're going to be like an open wound. Like, that's how a Sun in Virgo, Venus in Scorpio woman is going to treat you if you really betray her in a bad way. Then coming to Capricorn, if this is a Sun in Capricorn, Venus in Scorpio woman, they will probably dismiss you, because Capricorn is CEO energy, boss energy. They don't have time for that. They don't have time for pettiness. They can be petty if they want to, but this is a woman that is going to just dismiss you. Like, you're fired. That's kind of the energy that you're going to feel with a Sun in Capricorn, Venus in Scorpio woman, because she just doesn't care for that. Like, you're out of her radar. You don't exist. Like, this is the sign that's going to ice you out. Like, the icy cold behavior, that's very Capricorn. And when you have a Sun in Capricorn and Venus in Scorpio woman, you have both energies. You've got the cold nature of Capricorn, because Capricorns are very loving, they're very, very loving people. But if you do them wrong, they can switch up in a beat. They can become very icy cold with you. And with the Venus in Scorpio energy, yeah, you're going to feel the revenge, but it's going to be like you don't exist. You're going to question your own existence, basically, with this combination. So that's a bit about the revenge front, but usually Venus in Scorpio women don't really go that way. Like I said, they like their peace. They like just moving on to better things. Life is too short for that, and the evolved ones know that. They know that their peace and happiness is more important, and there's just better out there. They just go and do better. They just find better, and then that's when it stings the most, because the thing about Venus in Scorpio women is that when they really love you, when you are in a committed relationship with them, you are going to get the kind of love, loyalty, devotion that you've never got anywhere else before. And they are the kind of women that they know how to love you exactly how you need to be loved. Because, like I said at the beginning of this video, Venus and Scorpio women can see right through you, right? And because they see right through you, they know everything about you, including your flaws, your weaknesses, how you need to be loved, what you need in the relationship. They just know everything. And so they know how to give you the kind of love that you want, and you're going to miss that when that relationship is over. Like, that's one of the things about Venus and Scorpio women, that people want to come back to them because they just can't find that with anybody else. And you're not going to get that again, because once that trust is broken, it's broken. And I have done a video on this before, where if a Venus in Scorpio takes you back, does it mean that they love you? I'll post a link somewhere on top. You can just check out the video. But if a Venus in Scorpio woman takes you back in the relationship, there is something to it, because once a Scorpio is done, they don't really go back, So just be cautious about that. I have the video linked up there. You can check that out. But a Venus in Scorpio woman, once she's done, she's done. She doesn't really go back. She doesn't go back because the thing with Scorpio is it's a sign of extremes, right? It's all or nothing. There really is no middle ground with Scorpio. So either you're all in and fully committed in the relationship and you're there 100% and you are a couple, you're exclusive, you're out there, it is that or it's nothing. Like there is no middle ground basically with Scorpio. And so that's the thing. And another thing people like to say about Venus and Scorpio women is they're very jealous, they're very possessive, all of that, right? Like the shadow side of Scorpio. That side is only going to come out if you've done something to stir up those spidey senses. Like if she feels something is wrong, that's when you're going to see that side of the Scorpio side, the shadow side of Scorpio come out. Because the thing again is like with Scorpio, it's all or nothing, right? So either you're in a committed relationship with her and you're completely honest with her and both of you know that you're going strong in the relationship. It's 100% loyal, committed, everything. Or it's none of that. You're not in a relationship, right? Like I said, there's no middle ground with Scorpio. So when you talk about jealousy, possessiveness with a Venus and Scorpio woman, that side is going to show itself only if you've done something to trigger that side of her. Like if you're being shady, like for example, you start off the relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, everything is going great, right? But after some time, you decide to switch it up with her, if you decide to be flaky with her, if you are not transparent like you were in the beginning with her, because keep in mind, Scorpio is a water sign, right? It's about emotions, it's about feelings. And the thing with Venus and Scorpio women is they can actually sense when something is wrong, even through text, even through words, just through eye contact. They know when something is wrong. They know when your day went wrong. They know when something is bothering you, which is why they also make such great partners because they're so intuitive, right? Like you are both bonded at that level where they just know when something is wrong with you. They just sense it. And having that kind of intuitive bond is so difficult. Like you can't even get that in committed relationships a lot of the times these days. Like most people just get the superficial end of relationships, right? And so to experience that with a Venus and Scorpio woman where she's so in tune with you that she just knows when something is wrong. So when she knows you to that level, she's going to know when you're switching things up with her. She's going to know if you're being dishonest with her, if you're being flaky, if you're just being not truthful about things. She's going to know that and she's going to pick up on it. You don't even need words with a Scorpio. With a Venus and Scorpio woman, you don't need words. She just knows it because she's already connected to you at the psychic level. So you're not going to be able to lie to her. If you try, it's just going to backfire really badly, especially if you're on that level in the relationship. Like the thing with Venus and Scorpio women is they're not even going to bother with the jealousy and possessiveness if they are not in a proper relationship with you. Like if you're not on that level with them, they're probably just going to ice you out because you don't even matter to them. Like Venus and Scorpio women, they have no problem icing people out, quite honestly. Like they even do it to their close friends and family sometimes because again, Venus is not just about romantic relationships, it's also about like friendships and family and things like that. So if somebody does them wrong, a Venus and Scorpio woman has actually no problem cutting somebody off. They have no problem icing people off. So the jealousy, possessiveness factor comes in if she's in a proper relationship with you and you are steady with the Venus and Scorpio woman and you decide to get flaky and be shady or do something that betrays their trust, that's when you're going to see that jealousy, possessiveness, the quote unquote shadow side of Scorpio come out because she doesn't behave like that just with anybody. But if you do something to spark that side of her, then you're going to see that quote unquote ugly side of her come out. And Scorpio women have no dearth of options when it comes to like love interest because they are, like I said, very alluring. They have that Scorpio charisma. They can see through people. They know what people are about. When you have that dynamic combination together of that alluring charisma and magnetism, combined with the abilities to see through people and be exactly what they need, you have a powerhouse. So these women do not have any lack of options. And if they're giving you the time of day, then you should consider yourself lucky, because they don't give that time to just about anybody. Just like the Venus and Scorpio man, they are also very selective about who their partner should be. This is an extremely loyal placement. They want commitment. They want the long haul. They want the one, in quotes. So they don't really settle. They don't settle with just about anybody. They take their time. So if you are in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, she has carefully considered all alternatives with you, all scenarios with you, and then selected you, because it's she who does the choosing, not the other way around. Scorpio often likes to look at potential partners as quote unquote prey. It sounds a bit morbid, but they kind of lure you into their den. It's very psychic. Scorpio is very psychic in nature, so they like to go into the mind of the person first before the relationship even takes off. And this is something that they share with the Venus and Scorpio man as well, because even they do it with potential partners. They like to suss them out. Like Venus and Scorpio women, they'll usually have very alluring eyes. They really know how to do the eye contact, and a lot of people think of that as staring. It's not really staring. It's more like sussing the person out through eye contact. Like, you can get to know a lot about a person just through eye contact. It's like the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? That's what they say, right? So you can really get to know a lot about a person through eye contact. And so Venus and Scorpio women will often do that. They will suss you out. If you are in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, from time to time, you may find yourself in a staring contest with a Venus and Scorpio woman. It's not in a creepy way. It's more like a soul devouring kind of way, they want to get to know you at that level. So you don't need words. Like I said, you don't need words with a Scorpio. Actually, words kind of kill the vibe. So it's more like eye contact and just getting to know you through body language and things like that. That's how they get to know you. That's the best thing about being in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, is that you don't have to always explain yourself every single thing. They just know. They're very intuitive. And the thing about it is that if you're in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, usually you end up being transformed in some kind of way. Because Scorpio being ruled by Pluto as well, like not just Mars but also Pluto, it's about crisis, it's about chaos, it's about transformation, upheaval, all of those things. And Scorpio is an extremist sign. It's not about middle ground. It's not about keeping the peace like Libra. It's about pushing you to the extreme. So a Venus and Scorpio woman is often going to test their partners by pushing them to extremes. She's often going to actually show her really bad side right off the start, to see if you can handle it, to see if you're going to stick around. Those are some of the tests that a Venus and Scorpio woman is actually going to do. If you stick around, earned yourself good graces in her book, she thinks of you as potential material for a partnership. But those are some of the things that a Venus and Scorpio woman does. And this is very similar to even the Venus and Scorpio man. Like I said in the other video about Venus and Scorpio men, like who their ideal partner is. I'll link up the video here. Where they kind of be sort of like a jerk at the beginning of the relationship. They're going to treat you bad, not because they want to irritate you, but they want to see if you can handle that as well, because relationships are not going to always be rosy, right? You're not going to be always in like the quote unquote honeymoon phase. Like, there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be turbulences in the relationship. So Scorpio is about like the long haul. They want to see if you can handle all that. Are you going to stick around, or are you going to just run at the first sight of trouble? That's what Scorpio needs to know, because the thing with Venus and Scorpio is once they're in it, they're very, very committed. So when they give that level of love and loyalty and devotion to you, they want to make sure that you're going to stick around, because it's like they're sinking their claws into you. You have to be sticking around. You have to be a loyal person in return, because otherwise they feel really betrayed. They just cannot forgive themselves, because Venus and Scorpio doesn't like making mistakes. is like that saying, right? Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, they don't like making mistakes. And so every time a Venus in Scorpio person has been hurt, especially the women, they want to make sure that they don't make the same mistake all over again. So the next time they are in a relationship or trying to get in a relationship, they're going to be doubly sure that what your agenda is, what your strategy is, who you are about. They've done the research on you, believe it or not. They know everything there is to know about you even before you open your mouth to speak. Like, that's Venus in Scorpio. They just know everything about you. So just be honest with them, be loyal with them, be transparent. If you have a history, share it with them. They're going to appreciate that you're being upfront about it with them. But don't play games. They see right through that. Like, they know when you're playing games, and they're going to, like I said, they're going to play it right back to you. You're going to get played. You're going to feel really kind of stupid about it, because it's just going to backfire in a really bad way. So don't do that with a Venus and Scorpio woman. That being said, these are the kind of women that, like I said, they know how to love you exactly how you need to be loved. They're going to give the space when space is needed. They're going to be there for you when you need it. They're going to make the house a home. You name it. Like, these are the women that are it, So you don't want to ever go halfway with a Venus and Scorpio woman. Like, this is like the kind of person that a Venus and Scorpio woman really wants or needs in a relationship is somebody like, I don't know if you've seen the Addams Family, but the Morticia Gomez kind of vibe, chemistry, that's what a Venus and Scorpio woman likes. She needs to be idolized. She needs to be worshipped. She needs to be adored, because she is all these things. She is a goddess. So she definitely needs to be treated as one. You do not want to disrespect a Venus and Scorpio woman, because that's insulting her intelligence. And believe me, she has way high more emotional intelligence than a lot of other signs out there. Like I said, she is deeply intuitive. She knows you through and through. Like I said, she can sense through a text if something is wrong. Even if you don't tell her anything, she knows what's wrong. And when you have a partner that's that intuitively connected with you, when you leave that relationship, or if the relationship ends, you're not going to get it anywhere else. So you should treat this kind of woman with the kind of respect and adoration and, the love that she needs, because she gives that much back in return. That being said, like I said, the Morticia Gomez relationship, that's kind of the ideal. Somebody who's going to stick by her through thick and thin, because this is a complex woman. This is not saccharine sweet. She's not going to be sweet with you every single day. This is a highly, highly complex woman. Women in general are very complex, but the Venus and Scorpio woman, you're dealing with a complexity at a whole another level. So you need to be ready to be able to handle that side of her, because like I said, she is going to show that side to you right at the beginning of the relationship. And just to see if you're going to stick around. If you stick around, then yes, you have earned good graces in her book. If you don't stick around, well, it's over. You failed the test, And a lot of people say Scorpio people play tests, but it's not games. They are seeing if you're ready for real life situations. This is how life is going to be with them. So if you can't handle it at the beginning, you're not going to be able to handle it throughout the relationship, which is why they do this. That being said, she does not like a pushover. If you're in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, you have to sometimes call her out if she's being mean with you, because she is going to be like that sometimes, just like the Venus and Scorpio man. Venus and Scorpio women can be really mean to you at the beginning of the relationship, just to see how much of that you're going to take. What are your boundaries like? Are you going to stand up to them? If you stand up to them, that's actually good for you. And I know that's why I said they're very complex. Like, it's not a one-dimensional person you're getting here. You get so many shades of her. With the Venus and Scorpio woman, you just have many, many shades of complexity that you deal with. So she doesn't like somebody who's a pushover. If you stand up to her every once in a while, she's going to respect that about you. Yes, that you do have a backbone. You do stand up for yourself. You do push back if she's acting really mean and, just generally not nice. And if you push back, then that's actually going to earn you her respect. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're in a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman. Don't be a pushover. Don't be available all the time, just like the Venus in Scorpio man. Venus in Scorpio woman also likes somebody who is a bit of a challenge. And that's a bit of a paradox about the Venus in Scorpio woman, because when we talk about women or just Venus in general, it's supposed to be passive. It's supposed to let things come to you, right? Like the feminine energy you attract. But when you have it in Scorpio, like Venus in Scorpio, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and Mars likes to go and conquer. So a lot of Venus in Scorpio women like that. They do like, they never actively pursue. Scorpio is a feminine sign. So you will never find a Venus in Scorpio woman actually going and pursuing a love interest. They just don't do that. They have too much self-respect to do that. But then they do like to attract with their magnetism and appeal. So in that way, they do like to conquer their quote unquote prey. It sounds so morbid, but that's kind of what Venus in Scorpio is. Like both the men and women are like that. It's very animal magnetism. It's a lot of charisma. They do that. Like they do attract their potential partners like that and lure them in with their magnetism, So that's a bit about Venus and Scorpio woman. If you have a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio woman, it's amazing. Like it's a roller coaster ride for sure, but it's a good roller coaster ride. If you are honest with her, if you're loyal with her, if you're ready to stick by her, then yes, you will get the best of anything that you can get in a relationship. But if you act shady, if you switch up on her, if you are dishonest, if you are lying to her, then yes, you're either going to get iced out because she probably doesn't care about you by that point, or you're going to get like the revenge side of Scorpio, where sort of the quote unquote ugly side of Scorpio starts showing itself. So you don't want to play games with the Venus and Scorpio woman. Just be honest with her, and you're going to get a really, really beautiful, lovely relationship, because these women are in it for the long haul. They don't like anything halfway or in between. If she's acting that way with you, it's because she doesn't trust you yet. So you have to give her reason to trust you. Trust has to be earned with the Venus and Scorpio woman. You don't just get her trust like that, and you shouldn't. If trust is that easy to get, then it's probably not worth it with that person, because it needs to be earned. You have to work to get a Venus and Scorpio woman's trust. And once you have that trust, you're going to get a beautiful relationship. And that's one of the reasons why I titled, the beginning of the video, I have that short video of, a Venus and Scorpio woman is an angel. But what kind of angel? You're about to find out, because it depends on what side of the Venus and Scorpio woman you bring out, right? She can be an angel or the opposite of an angel. It depends on what side you bring out of her, because Scorpio, just like Cancer, it's a reflective sign. It's known as sorcerer energy. It's healing energy, and it's known to transform people because they reflect back to you not just your potential of how great you could be, but also who you are as a person. So if you are showing her your shadow side, she's going to show you your shadow side right back to you. And that's when you get like the non-angelic side of the Venus and Scorpio woman. That's when people like to say, oh, Venus and Scorpio women are so jealous, possessive, all the shadow side of Scorpio behavior that people like to talk about. But they never stop to consider why they're acting this way. There's a very solid reason that a Venus and Scorpio woman is ever going to act that way with you, because you've given her solid reason to act that way. They don't just switch up on you like that. It's a fixed sign. They don't change their minds that often. So if they are switching up on you, then you've probably done something to be really shady, which is why they're acting that way. Yeah, so that's what I have for you for Venus and Scorpio woman. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Your likes help my videos stay relevant and also help motivate me to keep delivering on more content for you, for my lovely subscribers. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can drop me a message on Facebook or email. The links are in the description box below. I do natal chart readings. I do Synastry chart readings, relationship compatibility. I do tarot readings. I also do counseling sessions. So you can definitely message me if you want any of those services, and I'll get back to you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.